NetFacilities web-based CMMS has simple tile navigation to move through the system. Under work orders, we land on the overview. This is an active queue of all of your work orders in the system. You can hover to see what's inside of a work order. You can move columns around so that you can really personalize the screen view for your own needs. And you have a lot of different actions like creating work orders, looking at invoices or history. And creating a work order is simple. You choose a site. Next, choose a building, then an area, your service type, and what the symptom or task is. Then click Approve and Output. We can now assign it. We will choose in-house staff, and now we choose an assignee. When we click Approve and Send, they get an email telling them all about the work order. They can click a link to get into the system, and this is what the work order looks like. It's got all the details, your logo, the originator, etc., and the audit trail. This is real-time and date-stamped info. Back to the overview, we can see our work order, and we can take many actions, but in this case we're going to go ahead and close out the work order. This simply involves putting in the date the work was done, the details about what was done, and then you can put in things like labor. You can also put in material costs or pull something from stock in a warehouse. You can also put in vendor costs and even put files in the work order like pictures of your work. Then simply close out. Inventory is where you can access a list of all the parts and supplies you keep in stock. This DC input module, for example, we can see what it is and where we store it. We also have reorder levels, so you don't have to ever run out of stock. Activities is for seeing by day, week, or month your work orders, and we have broadcast messaging, so you can send out select messages to different property sites, buildings, and users, including getting that to their email and their mobile phone. You also have resources, so you can set up conference rooms and freight elevators, and ultimately you're going to allow people to book reservations against these things. They can simply log in and book their reservation, fill out the details. Under sites, we are going to load in all of your property sites. Then we're going to set up the buildings, those are subsites, and the areas by floor level or section. Under keys, you can see what keys access which locks and the doors those are installed upon. Under users, you can see your entire user list. And remember, with NetFacilities, you only have to pay for your power users. All of your requesters are free, also your tenants, and you can see where they're located, what their role is, etc. Vendors is for managing your contractors. Hoover Electric is one of our vendors, and our primary contact is Jack. We also want to see that they have insurance, and we can set a notification against that, keeping them in compliance. Reports is an area that has over 135 reports on the system for various areas such as performance analytics, work order related items. You also have labor, maybe scheduled work orders, and repair costs. So you can take a look at what you're spending repairing assets. You can chart reports, export them, email them to colleagues. You can also place reports on schedules. Scheduled reports is a good way to keep everybody up to date daily, weekly, or monthly. Here's the dashboard where you can see everything about your properties. You can switch out the graph types, move things around. You can even change the language settings and the color scheme. You can minimize these things, and it gives you good visibility into your property operations. The setup area we will help you with through guided setup. Here we look at the Mobile Facilities app. It has a dashboard. You can create brand new work orders from the field, and you have a comprehensive list of all of your work orders, including a calendar, graph view, etc. You also can access the system overview so that you can see all of your active work orders and close them out in real time, all from the field. You can access a list of assets. You can use filtering to look for those assets, search through the list. You can also use barcode scanning to pull an asset up and see everything about it, what it looks like, where it's located, custom fields, etc. You also have access to the Preventive Maintenance Manager and the transaction history.